I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's a winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's goody? I'm Shellitronnn, but you can call me Coach, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. This upcoming game between the Panthers and the Bucs this Thursday's got me feeling some kind of way for a couple of reasons. The first reason is something I've mentioned in another video before, but I have to mention it again right now because it is very important. This is the Panthers and the Bucs' second NFL game in 4 days. We had a game Sunday against the Rams and 3 days in between, and we play another game in prime time on Thursday against the Bucs. Now for me, look, anytime I see more football on my television screen, it's a win for me. I can't even lie to you if it's not my team on my television screen. Look, Thursday games, love watching them, but we have to all admit, Thursday games are bad for players' health. I don't have the numbers in front of me about, whether there are more injuries on Thursday night games or whatever, but this really can't be all that good for players' health. And honestly, it's not really all that great of a product because, first of all, Thursday night games favor the home team heavily, which works out for us because this game actually is at home, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. So, hey, I'm not too mad about that, but we also saw that we were on the receiving end of that as well. Just last year, we went to the Steelers and we lost by, at last count, I think we lost by 72.5 points to Big Ben and just about everyone else in Pittsburgh. But the point I'm trying to make here is that the quality of the actual product the NFL puts out on Thursday just isn't really there. And you really can't expect it to be. These are football players. These are grown men. This is a violent sport. Probably the most violent sport that's not an actual fighting sport in America. And we have these guys have a 3-day turnaround and playing another game after having just played a game on Sunday is wild to me. But in that same token, this should be a much easier game than I expected. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Coming to this season, I was looking at Jameis Winston. I was saying, okay, he has Bruce Arians. We know who Jameis Winston is by this point, But Bruce Arians has done some pretty big work in his past. We've seen him work a little bit of magic on some offenses. I respect the man. His clock management ain't the best, but I thought he might be able to do something with Jameis Winston this season. Looking at Jameis Winston in that 49ers game last week, I said to myself, hold up. Jameis has changed for the worse. Look, the Niners defense ain't horrible. It's not a bad defense, but it sure ain't good. I would never describe the Niners defense as being, I wouldn't call them top 10, maybe not even top 15. And Jameis Winston had 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. Neither of those fumbles were lost, so it wasn't 5 turnovers, but he did have 3 for potential of 5, and the Bucs did not look good against a Niners team that was led by a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, who went 18 for 27. What's that? That's about 67% of his passes. That sounds good. Less than 200 yards, but not just less than 200 yards. He threw for 166 yards in 27 attempts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, only got sacked once. And the running game was garbage too. Between 3 running backs, they got 100 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo had them drop down 2, so they had a total of 98 yards on the day. But when your defense hands you 2 pick sixes from Jameis Winston, you ain't got to do all that much. And I'm talking about this game so much to bring up a point about our defense. Our defense is not the Niners defense. James Bradberry was the highest graded cornerback after week 1. Think about that. James Bradberry, the highest graded cornerback. A guy I've heard from a few Panthers fans that shouldn't be on the team anymore, shouldn't get extended. He is one of the better press corners in the league. Over the past 2 years, he's put in some really good work on Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and Mike Evans. This dude is the truth. I think he's actually going to be a very highly sought after corner in the league if he does go to free agency. Hopefully he doesn't, but we have a lot of contracts coming up. The point is that I'm starting off this video on our defense talking about James Bradberry. And that's wild because our front 7 is the real main attraction of this defense. You have, down the line, let's go Dontari Poe, K'Wan Short. We didn't have Bruce Irvin. We had Mario Addison. We got Joe McCoy, Brian Burns. We have Shaq Thompson. And Shaq had a big game against the Rams too. I did not mention his name in the video I did earlier this week. But Shaq Thompson had a big game there. We got Dante. We got Eric Reed. We have, look, the whole squad goes crazy. And when you're going against a team like the Bucs with Jameis Winston, who's kind of, at best, he's inconsistent. Now, I said that word a lot in my last video, but Jameis Winston is very, very inconsistent. He's one of the guys who can give you one game where he goes 20 for 36, 194, a touchdown and 3 interceptions, and turn around the next week and give you something like 67% completion, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But I do not see that happening against this Carolina defense with both teams getting some really short rest. I don't see this man getting enough time to eat those W's because he got sacked 3 times for the Niners. What's going to happen when he's up against an elite front 7 that even has some really good slot corners who can blitz and bring pressure? Not a lot of good things. Not a lot of good things at all. And this is all before you even start to talk about our offense. Now, I did ask a couple questions about Cam, his health, his trust of his receivers, maybe even the play calling or whatnot. Look, I'm not saying Cam is bad or garbage or whatever. I'm just saying that when you throw 71% of your passes between behind the line of scrimmage and 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, you're going to get some questions. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I think that in this game, Cam will actually start to throw deep. We will see a lot more from Cam. Will we see him run a lot more? I don't really think so. At least I don't think we're going to see very many designed runs. We did see one quarterback draw that was kind of blown up. It was kind of weird because they looked like they kind of expected it, even though Cam had not run at all up to that point. It was a kind of weird situation there. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I expect to see a lot more of DJ Moore. I expect no fumbles this game, please. But he had a good amount of catches last week. But what I really want to see is Curtis Samuel feature a little bit more. Jarius Wright feature more. I want to see Chris Hogan get a catch this game. He was targeted, but he didn't get any catches last game. And I want to see what we get from our backup running backs. We all know who Christian McCaffrey is, what he can do, and I'm not saying to not let him get his touches. I'm not saying to not let CMC eat, because this man is going to eat, because there is not a single player in the NFL who can take a single morsel off of his plate. If Christian McCaffrey wants something, he gonna take it. He gonna take it, or you're gonna give it to him real polite. You gonna talk to this man nice. But we also have some very quality backups behind him. Reggie Bonifant. This dude is actually nice. I remember last year we had him, and I didn't think very much of him at all. This dude came up big this past preseason. He can catch. He can run between the tackles. He can bounce it outside. He's really fast. And we drafted a guy in the 5th round, Jordan Scarlett. Strong. And the biggest question about him coming out of college was whether or not he could catch passes out of the backfield. And he proved that he can. He has some really good hands. I really want to see how these guys can act in a game right here. But other than that, I was actually really impressed with Greg Olsen. He might have some more reps this game, some more targets this game. We didn't really see all that much out of Ian Thomas. I don't know why that was. I think what we're doing here is seeing what we can get out of Greg Olsen early on in this season and letting Ian Thomas grow even more. I don't think he's going to be doing all that much. He only got 1 target all game. Same with Jarius Wright and Chris Hogan. But we weren't really doing all that much. The most passes went to Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. We know about that. But we might see the playbook and the options and the reads and the routes open up a little bit more against this Bucs team. This is a game that we need to win. There are no real lollipop games in your division. Make a statement against these Bucs right here. And show the league that we can do what we're doing, man. This is a very serious year for Cam, for the team, for the defense. We have youth. We have experience. We have guys everywhere. We have starters who are mad impressive. Our O-line was disgusting. This man, Aaron Donald, only had 1 tackle all game. I saw Trey Turner throw this man, Aaron Donald, to the ground with the disrespect of 1,000, I don't know what to call it, 1,000 teenage girls. But this right here should be a statement game to prove ourselves and get ourselves on a roll. We'll have a long break here. We have all this weekend, and then we have all the way up till next Sunday. So we have a good 10, 11 day break after this game. Leave it all out on the field. Beat these dudes. Let's go, what? I want to say 17-31. I want to say 17-31. Good guys win. Cam starts throwing. We see some real production out of Cam, out of other guys, not just Christian McCaffrey. And we might see our defense go crazy. I'm thinking maybe 2 picks. I'm thinking definitely a fumble, maybe a strip sack. We might see Brian Burns unleash. We might see Brian Burns hit this man with the web slinger. That's all I got for you though, man. What are your thoughts? Score prediction, stat predictions. What are your thoughts on a Thursday game, the very first week of the NFL season? Week 1, 2 games in 4 days. Am I overreacting to that? I don't know. You let me know all that in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.